Welcome back, brothers and sisters. Today we're stepping into one of the most comforting invitations Jesus ever gave, which I would like to entitle Rest for Your Soul. We will be reading and breaking down Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30. These three verses are short, but they carry the weight of the entire gospel message. As we walk through them, we'll use the American Standard Version to uncover the depths behind Jesus' words and the heart behind his call. Jesus begins with an invitation. Matthew 11, verse 28 reads, "Come unto me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." He is speaking directly to the exhausted. The word weary means to be worn out, fatigued, or beaten down from continual struggle. And the word burden is describing someone overloaded with burdens they were never meant to carry. Jesus sees people crushed by guilt, religion, expectations, and life itself. Then he promises rest, a word that means to refresh, revive, and restore. This is not sleep. It is soul-level renewal. Matthew wants us to hear Jesus as the fulfillment of God's promise to give his people rest for their souls. And today, this verse speaks to anyone overwhelmed by anxiety, burnout, or spiritual confusion. Jesus is not calling the strong. He is calling the tired. Jesus continues with Matthew 11, verse 29, which reads, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls." The word yoke is a wooden frame that joined two animals so they could pull together. A yoke always had two sides. Jesus is saying, "Get in the yoke with me. I will carry the weight." Then he invites us to learn from him, meaning to be discipled, to follow a teacher's way of life, not just their words. Jesus describes himself as gentle, not harsh, and humble in heart, accessible, and safe. This is not a rabbi who crushes his students. This is a savior who lifts them up. Matthew wants his readers to understand that discipleship under Jesus is not slavery. It is partnership. And today, this verse reminds us that following Jesus is not about performing for God. It is about walking with someone who is patient with our weaknesses and gracious with our failures. Finally, Jesus concludes with the words of Matthew 11, verse 30, which reads, "For my yoke is comfortable and my burden is light." The word comfortable means well-fitting, kind, good, and pleasant. In the ancient world, a good carpenter would custom fit a yoke so it would not wound the necks of his animals. Jesus is saying, "My yoke fits you perfectly." Then he says his burden, a load designed for a person to carry, is light, meaning not heavy, not crushing, easy to lift. Jesus is not promising a life without responsibility. He is promising a life where the weight heals instead of harms, where his leadership frees instead of enslaves, where his commands restore instead of crush. Matthew wants us to see that Jesus does not add weight, he removes it. And today, in a world drowning in pressure and anxiety, Jesus' word reminds us that true rest is not found in escape or achievement, but in surrendering to his leadership. His yoke fits, his burden heals, his rest restores. When we step back and look at Matthew 11, verses 28 through 30 as a whole, we see a complete picture of the heart of Christ and the message Matthew wants his readers to grasp. These verses move from invitation to instruction to promise, forming a single unified call to a new way of living. Jesus invites the weary to come. He instructs them to walk with him. And he promises that the life he offers will not crush them. Matthew is showing us that Jesus is not a distant teacher demanding perfection. He is a present Savior offering partnership, a Savior who sees our exhaustion, shares our load, and shapes a yoke that fits our lives perfectly. And for us today, these verses remind us that Christianity is not about striving harder, performing better, or carrying more. It's about surrendering our burdens, learning from the one who is gentle and humble, and discovering that his way brings rest, renewal, and freedom for the soul. This is Brother Jeff. Remember, be blessed and stay prayed up.